Running a business as an overthinker can honestly just be put down as simple as condensing all of your tasks down into so little time that you don't have room to overthink anymore. I've actually run multiple successful businesses, and I call myself a chronic overthinker that does way too much thinking, way too often, and it's actually not as difficult as you might think. There are a lot of nuances of being an overthinker, like having a million thoughts at once, a paralysis analysis where you do so much thinking that you don't ever actually execute, and more than anything, you just sit with a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, and none of them get executed on. In this video, I am just going to tell you all of the ways that I remove BS and fluff of time inside of my schedule in order to get rid of being an overthinker inside of my business and to fully maximize the things that I do in order to run successful companies, even though I struggle with being an overthinker. One of the first things that I ever put together was based around a concept that I learned in the 4-hour work week. And essentially, I took the concept and then applied it to my business in order to keep myself from overthinking, from doing too much, from having a million ideas at once and then not doing anything with any of them. You guys know how it is, I'm sure. I only work 4 hours a day. And in the allotted time block, it doesn't matter when it is, but I will start a timer on my desk. And when that timer hits 4 hours, whatever is not complete has to be pushed on to the next day. This might sound a little crazy, and there have been times where I've worked 12-hour days. But what I found when working extremely long hours is that so much time was being filled with things that weren't actually valuable. Like, I work a 12-hour day, but it's because I check my email 100 times instead of actually doing work that will push my business forward. So now, whenever I'm doing work, I spend all of my time only on the most high important tasks that will push the business forward because of this thing called Parkinson's law, where whatever space of time that you give certain tasks, those tasks will be filled up with that time. For example, if you have an extremely long paper that you need to write, if you give yourself 2 weeks, it'll take 2 weeks. If you give yourself 12 hours, then it'll take you 12 hours. I use that same fundamental idea inside of my business. Now, as an overthinker, I think one of the biggest things that happens to me almost every single day, even still, is the amount of things that I want to get done. I will wake up in the morning and have 100 different ideas that I say, if I do this, this will be the absolute best ever. But whenever I look at the allotted time that I give myself to actually run the business, I begin to sort of narrow tasks down. I have a Notion document that talks about my to-do list, Monday through Friday, and I have it broken down into a few different categories. 1, priority, things that 100% need to be done that day. 2, internal work, so work that needs to be done inside of my business, which I try not to do a ton of. And then 3, external work like sales, marketing, things that will actually allow the business to go forward. By breaking my day up into a very, very specific to-do list, I'm able to see right off top, these are things that I need to get done, these are things that I want to get done, and these are things that are taking too much time. It helps a ton whenever I'm hiring or trying to look for a new decision, because more specifically, I'm able to sort of dive in and say, this is actually costing me too much time, while this is costing me too little time. I need to hire somebody out for this and spend more time on this thing, something like sales, marketing, income generating tasks inside of the business. This next one is one I'm gonna caution you to be very, very careful with, because it's one that I've done and I feel like I've been able to kind of master it. But if you're just getting started out, I wouldn't really recommend this one at time because it's a little extreme. A lot of times, whenever I have a client that is looking for a specific project from me, one of the things that I'll do, I will give them an unrealistically short deadline. This one is a little crazy, but it works very, very well for me. For example, if I know a project is going to take me a week to fulfill, I frequently tell my clients, this will only take me about 3 to 5 days to get back to you. Removing the fluff of time has been my biggest secret as an overthinker. A lot of times, and I mean a lot, what I do is give myself extremely small deadlines so that thoughts that allow me to overthink or procrastinate don't have any breathing room. The only thing I can do are these steps that will actually push the project forward in a way that is meaningful and impactful, not just to me, but to the client and to the project as a whole. You're probably catching like my big trend by now, and that is that I just don't give myself time to overthink. How I've hacked myself and how I've tricked myself over these last few years has specifically just been around time. And that is a really, really important thing to me because my entire goal of running businesses now is not to make the most money, gain the most followers. At this point, I run businesses strictly for autonomy. I only want to work 4 hours a day. I only want to make as much money as working 4 hours a day will allow me, probably more than you think. But in my head, if I have to spend all of my time growing and building a business right now, that is not what I want to do in my life. So all of my goals are condensed around taking these big things that start off as extremely long and time consuming and then smushing them down into very, very small topics and asking myself, what can I get somebody else to do? What is the best way for me to spend my time with this? And how essentially can I get more work done in the smallest amount of time possible and only focus on sort of like the 80-20 rule, focusing on things that bring in 80% of the results and having somebody else automate or do the other 20% of tasks. You guys probably won't believe this one, but I run a video-based marketing agency. I do not edit any videos. If you look at my to-do list for the past 6 or 7 months, I have not edited one single video. Now, here's the funny thing. It's not because I'm not capable. It's not because I'm not a very solid or a pretty decent video editor. It is specifically because I understand that in order for me to sign more clients, in order for me to get closer to my goal of making more money, paying my bills, and doing everything that entrepreneurship allows you to do, like make cool YouTube videos like this, shout out to my video editor, I can't spend my time editing videos. I have to spend my time on things that push the agency forward, which I know is a really, really interesting nuance for a lot of people, but more than anything, it is the thing that allows me to not overthink because all of my thoughts are encapsulated into these very small, high efficient days that allow me to hack myself into saying, this is how you get rid of overthinking as much as humanly possible inside of the business and only focus on tasks that push you forward. Yo guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have not already caught this by now, my name is Cam and I make a mix of business content between starting a social media marketing agency and building a personal brand. I would love for you guys to check out some of the videos that I have here on this channel. They are extremely valuable and I literally teach you how to run a business very similar to the way that I've done it before. Check out some of those videos. See you later. Peace.